speaking of interesting information, winter is on its way.
Well, I'm sure everyone knows that. This is Montana, after all.
For some people, it's just hard to accept this all too sobering reality. As you said, this is Montana. It gets cold here in the winter, and you better be ready. But some of you out there may still be having a problem remembering all those small things that you mastered by the end of winter, but summer melted the memory of.
Well, Broken News correspondent Kat found a winter-ready checklist that may help some of you out there get through the winter a bit more comfortable than you did last winter. Let's see what she found as we talk to her live from Studio 15 newsroom at the Thompson Falls High School. Hello, Kat. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Are you staying warm?
While I'm in a studio, weather isn't much of a factor, but the same can't be said for every Montana citizen. The Governor's Office of Community Service has issued this helpful checklist to get your family ready for the cold winter weather. Use this winter preparedness checklist to help you and your family prepare for cold winter hazards, your home, and on the road. Always have a snow shovel, de-icing compound, and sand on hand to keep your home accessible when there is snow or ice on walkways and driveways. Be sure your home has emergency supplies that can last at least 3 days, including bottled water with at least 1 gallon per person per day, and food that doesn't need refrigeration or heating, such as canned meats, peanut butter, tuna fish, etc. And you should always have flashlights and batteries handy for those seasonal power outages. Make sure and keep prescription medicine stocked up so you can keep calm when the power goes out, and a battery-powered radio nearby to keep you informed on what is happening in the outside world. And for all of our viewers for whom having a cellular phone is a necessity, make sure and keep an emergency charger at the ready. A first aid kit is also a necessity, as are extra clothing and blankets for each family member. For those families that include pets as their members, they need to stock up on food and additional water for their pets, just in case. And of course, have a good supply of dry wood for your fireplace or wood-burning stove.
Those all sound like great tips, Kat. Of course, I don't have a fireplace. Are there any other ways mentioned on the checklist to help keep my house warm?
Okay, actually, it does remind you to winterize your home to help make it more efficient by doing things like insulating walls and attics, cold and weather stripped doors and windows, and install storm windows or cover your windows with plastic. Oh, and remember to help your neighbors too.
Those are some real good tips, Kat, but I don't know if I can go help my neighbors. With all the winter illnesses going around, I'm scared I'll catch the flu and bring it home to the boys.
Well, that is why the Governor's Office of Community Service has sent out this checklist to help you take precautions to avoid the flu, and they are simply things like washing your hands often and using your sleeve when you cough or sneeze, and avoiding touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. And remember, if you are sick with the flu-like illness, stay home and try to limit contact with others.
Okay, so I think we covered the household thoroughly enough, but quickly, Kat, are there some tips that can help out our viewers when they are out on these hazardous Montana roads?
Well, yes, there are, Bree. The Governor's Office of Community Service wants to ensure you have a safer driving experience this winter, and that means being prepared, alert, and cautious. Montana winter transportation can mean hazardous road condition can change in an instant. They put together a checklist that will help you prepare your car for winter driving. Always carry a bag of sand, roll salt, or kitty litter in your trunk box of your truck for weight and traction if you get stuck. Other items that should be in any Montana's car: jumper cables, an ice scraper, a flashlight with batteries, a knife, a gallon of water, a first aid kit, a blanket, coat, or other warm clothes. And if you have it, a cellular phone with an emergency charger. Get your car ready for winter by bringing it to your local auto shop for an inspection. Remember, if you find yourself stranded, be safe and stay in your car. Put on your flashers, call for help, and wait until it arrives.
You never know what could happen out on those roads. That's some great advice, Kat. Since we are so limited in airtime and I have so many questions, where could I find more information about this being ready for winter business?
I'm glad you asked that, Jake. For more information, please contact the Governor's Office of Community Service by phone at 406-444-9077, by email at serve@mt.gov, or look at on the web at www.serve.mt.gov. To learn more about winter preparedness or how you can help your neighbors, please visit www.ready.mt.gov. I'm Kathleen reporting from the Studio 15 newsroom at the Thompson Falls High School. Back to you.
That was great. Thanks, Kat. Now let's take a look at what next week holds in store for our area schools.
Thanks, guys. I'm Dan, and this is your look at what is happening at the Thompson Falls schools through the next week. Monday starts off real well for the elementary kids because they get breakfast, and us poor high school kids do not. Anyway, at the elementary, breakfast is waffles, sausage, and fruit. Lunch for everybody is pizza, corn, and applesauce. And also Monday, first quarter grades will be posted, and the National Honor Society has a meeting during lunch. Tuesday, breakfast for those lucky little learners at the elementary is bagels, cream cheese, hash browns, and boiled eggs. Lunch for all is chef's salad, cornbread, honey butter, and mandarin oranges. At the high school, there's an Upward Bound meeting in the Alternative Learning Center. It's also the registration deadline for December 3rd's SATs in Knoxon. Life Touch will be in the Commons area doing retakes, 1 to 2 p.m. Still on Tuesday, the MSU Bozeman representative will be at the high school at 11:30, and there will be a high school band and choir concert at 7 p.m. Wednesday at the elementary is Life Touch retake day, with their breakfast for Wednesday being cereal, cinnamon rolls, and fruit. Lunch again for everyone is chicken noodle soup, rolls, and veggies, with nothing lively to talk about going on in the high school on Wednesday. Thursday, breakfast is pancakes, ham, and juice. Lunch is hot dogs, french fries, pineapple, and cake. And that is the night parent-teacher conferences start and run from 5 to 8 p.m. on Friday. November 11th is Veterans Day. There is no school, but there is still a parent-teacher conference in the morning from 8 a.m. to noon. There is also the high school Upward Bound trip headed to Washington, but for those staying home, there will be a costume school dance at the high school gym from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And that's your next week's school calendar. Back to you.
Excellent.
Yes, quite.
I can't wait for lunch next week.
Okay. Well, to fill some of your waiting time, let's see what the guys over at the sports desk are up to.
That sounds like a capital idea. Guys?
Well, thanks, guys. I'm Dalton Groshon.
And I'm Dominic Holt. Here is your sports updates. Although cross country and football are over with, volleyball is still going, and they are in a heated volleyball divisionals tournament.
For districts, the Thompson Falls Ladyhawks beat Big Fork 3-1 to go into the championship. After that, they lost 3-0 against Eureka, so they won second. Next week, they go to Eureka again for divisionals, and we'll see how they do there.
Although football and cross country are over, we will still go to Jake Nygaard for the sports calendar of next week.
Good logo.
As they said, I am Jake Nygaard, and this is this week's sports calendar. As you know, football and cross country is already over, and volleyball is this weekend. And then wrestling, the more manly sport, starts November 17th. And if you're not into being a man, then there's basketball Monday, November 21st. And as I said in the beginning, this is Jake Nygaard. Bye. Pet my logo again.
Well, thanks, Jake, for that important sports calendar update.
Yes, thank you, Jake.
And now back to the main hankers for the rest of the news.
Done. Okay.
Good job.
Thanks, guys.